everybody. Well, they showed up just before we left for our trip with the family, so never got to actually read through them before we left. And that's the PET results from NIH. But I have them here. They even sent over like a disc and everything like that, and they sent everything over to my doctor's office as well. So wanted to kind of read through some of this. It's about as bad as we probably all expected, being that I was off treatment for over 40 days. So not anything that, I like to read through or anything like that. I think the worst word in here, which has been in the PET scans before, but when it's used multiple times for different things, makes it feel a little worse, and that's the word innumerable. Josh he said, I looked it up. He said the definition said usually it's used facetiously. And I was like, yeah, except in medical terms, it's used when there's too many to count. Only partially joking, because it's true. Like if they can't count the number, they need some way to explain it. They're not going to say, well, we tried to count, but we got to 50 and gave up or whatever. Like, I don't know exactly. But it definitely means something. So the findings, the first thing they talk about are the subcutaneous findings, which is like right under the skin. And that's innumerable subcutaneous hypermetabolic lesions, such as in the pelvis. I'm kind of skipping over some stuff in the abdomen, thorax, in the neck, and in the head. Those are just some examples of them. And of course, there's all the other ones that I can feel. For the head and neck, there is now scalp hypermetabolic nodules, which there hadn't been before. And there is focal asymmetry in the brain FDG uptake, but it's non-specific. They say it would need to be correlated with a brain MRI. They did not include the brain MRI results in what they sent. They only sent the PET scan. So, and actually I know why. We never did the brain MRI. That was something they said we couldn't continue before they did the brain MRI. So unless they can compare it with the brain MRI I just had at Kaiser, there wouldn't be that correlation there. For the thorax, there's no specific FDG uptake that's identified. Physiologic uptake in the heart, there's nothing. Abdomen and pelvis, hypermetabolic lesion in the body of the pancreas with upstream pancreatic ductal dilation. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds like there's potential signs that it's in my pancreas. Right adrenal hypermetabolic lesion and left adrenal hypermetabolic nodularity. And the left haptic lobe, got that. And then a couple other different regions that I'm not too familiar with that are listing some things that have not been listed before. Physiologic tracer excretion within the urinary tract, that's all normal. That's like as the tracer starts to leave your system. Skeletal system, innumerable on the osseous metastasis, lesions involving axial and appendicular skeleton, which we knew that's been going on for a while. Multiple hypermetabolic foci in the musculature of the axial appendicular skeletal, such as in the lower left extremity, in the right rectal abdominis, and hyperlink in the left pectoralis muscle. So it's also moving to the musculature, which, doesn't feel good. Impression as far as the abnormal FDG PET CT demonstrates innumerable cutaneous, axial, and appendicular musculoskeletal or musculoskeleton, there are multiple hypermetabolic lesions involving the pancreas, bilateral adrenal glands, peritoneal and retroperitoneal regions as detailed above. Constellation of these findings is comparable with interval progression of disease compared to prior FDG PET on 4/17 of 2023. So, yeah. There we go. Next appointment with my doctor is coming up. Part of me wants to say it's Monday, but I think it's Monday after this. So in about a week. And then I also had a call that I missed while we were gone, and we didn't have any reception where we were, of someone calling about a, what am I thinking? A referral for something for me. I don't know if it's with neurology or what it's with, but I'll try calling them tomorrow and see what that's all about and try and get in ASAP. And yeah, so PET scan's not so good. Sucks. Makes things feel more real than they have. It also sucks because I've been feeling more tired, and since my trip to the hospital, Josh is noticing times where he says it seems like I'm a bit more out of it, which I haven't noticed, which is even scarier because he's noticing but I'm not. And so it's either, is he being extra aware and it's really not that bad, or am I just being not aware enough and kind of lost in what's going on and what's happening that's impacting me mentally and is making it so that I'm losing time with my family. So these are all conversations we're going to have with the kids, with each other, with what we're going to plan, how we're going to plan. So that's where we're at, guys. Not giving up, not by any means, but trying to be more aware and prepared for everything that's going on. So I have a couple ideas for a few more videos where I'm going to need your guys' help on the just in cases that we could definitely use the assistance with. So be watching out for that. That'll probably be in a couple days. And yeah, so appreciate you guys. As always, be kind, make good choices, and I will see you tomorrow.